I also noticed you won a big tournament this year, the $50,000 tournament with New Rochelle.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
tough.
just tell the people what was that like,
I
man.
mean, it was
That
fun.
experience.
They tried to line us first.
Yeah,
They had us playing against Jadakiss team, which is
yeah.
basically the home team.
Mhm.
So they was up there trying to do the job, but we got that done.
That was a good game.
Then we had to get through R2K. They was pretty tough too. They had a couple NBA dudes. They were solid.
Yeah,
And then we ended up seeing Sean Bell in the championship,
yeah.
and we was able to get through them too. So
That was fire.
we
Though.
worked for that bag.
Yeah, that
but
was a good one.
50K for 3 games, you can't beat that with a stick.
That
That's
was
a fact.
What's your relationship like with cousins? I know you had cousins.
Yeah, that's my boy. He been with us since young. Like he never really played with nobody else. Like he wasn't really outside like that.
Yeah.
So once like we had a connection to him because he played with New Heights.
Yeah,
And one of my homies was the coach of New Heights. So he was like, when you running around the Dykeman and all that, bring him with you.
yeah.
So we've been tight for some years.
Mm,
So they be
fire.
tight up there because he don't play with them. They be tight. They hate that shit.
He from out there.
'Cause, he from he from Yonkers or he from Mount Vernon.
Yeah.
So they be tight, right? So they don't like that. He be playing with a whole Brooklyn team. Like
That boy good.
That's fire. That's fire. But yeah, shout out to y'all for doing that because that was big going up this North Shell.
yeah, that was the
And
highlight
bringing
of
that
my
back
summer,
home for
man.
Brooklyn, man. That's a fire. We
Got
needed
whole
that,
game
man.
on tape, too.
You feel me? Because I'm gonna keep it 100. Like even in Gersh, like I watch you, and like certain teams. If you playing against, I'm rooting for the Stompers. But like only team I go against the Stompers against is NR and Dub. You feel
Right,
me?
of course.
Yeah, you know that. But
You gotta do
anybody else between Sean Bell, because I just love the Stompers, you feel me? Like, because I just see, like, you got certain talent, and you know how to coach your talent very well. Like, certain people like Romy. I like Romy.
Yeah, I love
Tyler Bourne.
T.
Keanu, Keanu one of my favorites, so I'll be always out there
love him.
rooting for him.
He's the definition of work ethic.
That's a fact.
That's one dude that he got it out the mud.
Mhm.
He's one of the main reasons why I continue to coach.
Facts.
Look that.
Yeah, and
He was when he first came, he wasn't good at all.
Yeah,
And he used to have me in the gym every day because he
Working.
wanted to get better. I told him, I'm just going to give you a jersey.
yeah.
You got to earn it.
Mm.
At the time, he was raw. He had long arms. He was young, but he wasn't really good. But
Yeah.
when I say work, he put that work in.
That's
Yeah.
crazy
And
because
I
he
could-
had to put some work in.
And I could
'Cause
never,
that's fire.
I'm telling you, when I started noticing that he was getting good,
Yeah.
and I started telling people, they said I was bugging for years. They was
Yeah.
like, Keanu trash. Like, that's just what the dudes is telling me. I'm like, because what happened with us is we was on the road. So
Yeah.
a lot of people, and it wasn't like now with social media and all of that as much as it is now.
Yeah.
So we was playing everywhere, but nobody was getting to see that.
Yeah.
And we wasn't in Brooklyn. The dudes wasn't coming all the way to Dykeman a lot of times.
Facts.
Or they wasn't going to go to Hoops in the Sun and see. But I'm watching this shit. I'm like, yo, this nigga, he started to cook up. So I'm start telling niggas, they like, oh, no.
Yeah.
But then after like a year or two, they start noticing the shit too. Like, yo, this nigga be wilding now.
Facts.
And he became one of the top power forwards out here. And he did that for some years.
Yeah, that he definitely one. He's like, I ain't gonna lie, he's definitely my favorite power forward in the street basketball. Like,
Facts.
and I
Like,
tell that
watched
to,
him grow.
to a
I
lot of
watched him
players.
grow.
But he was up here the other day and he was telling us about you. He said that he played with a bunch of these guys in a bunch of these tournaments, but you the only one that called them for the tournament, the New Rochelle joint. Yeah, so he was telling me basically like you called him for the New Rochelle joint. to play
Yeah,
with the
I
Stompers,
feel
right?
like, my only disconnect with Keanu sometimes is
Yeah.
he should have never, ever played with nobody else.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when he got hot and the people started calling his name,
Yeah.
he started kind of answering a little bit. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
we
But
be,
you know how it go.
me and him, but that's family forever. Like, I don't own these guys.
Yeah.
They putting the work in. So
Facts.
if you getting offered money and you need that money, I don't stand in the way of stuff like that. Because especially once they get past a certain age,
Yeah.
it's like niggas got responsibilities. Pardon me, I could say niggas.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gucci, yo, bro.
But like,
Listen, yeah,
people
yeah.
got responsibilities. So if somebody giving you 200-300 a game, win or lose, I
Yeah.
can't be mad at that.
Facts,
Because
facts.
I'm not matching that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
already
yeah.
paying entry fee, ref fee.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm getting to and from the game. I make sure everybody's sturdy. You feel me? But
Facts.
at the same time, these is also grown men at this stage, at least at the pro level.
Yeah,
My
facts.
high school kids a little bit different because they younger. They don't do for themselves. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you're a grown man. I don't even want to teach you to be relying on me or any other man. So if you got a chance to go earn it, to just for your presence,
Yeah.
go do that. It's no static.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
Just as long as you hollered at me like a man and we had a conversation about it, it's cool. Never no static.
So what if it's one of your favorite tournaments? Like you don't give a fuck.
I mean, no. I don't get me wrong. I'm gonna pull a loyalty card
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
at
yeah,
some
yeah.
point. You could be being because you getting paid in 5 tournaments. You could pull up for me when I need you.
Fuck
I
the
ain't
money,
trying to
just
I ain't
be
trying to
doing
jam
it.
your money up, but at the same time, you a stomper
Home
before
team.
anything, right? You gotta have that type of loyalty for yourself.
But
This
yeah.
is y'all brand. We gonna keep this alive. If you gonna be a hired gun elsewhere, I'm knocking that. I'm not knocking that. You feel me?
Yeah, but I think I think that's fire, and I want to commend you for him. He told me that he started coaching him at the age 15,
But yeah,
and for him to come play with you at the age he is now, that's fire. A lot of people don't keep those relationships for so long. So like, how do you keep your relationships?
I mean, like I said, it's a family thing. We don't
Yeah.
just do basketball. Like when these guys
Facts.
go to college, I'm there for them.
Yeah.
If they overseas, if they ever playing with that money and they need something, I'm there for them. And that's any of my guys that I ever had.
Yeah.
It's never been when it's basketball season, I don't call you like these other dudes.
Yeah.
So that's why I be a little offended sometimes
I
because it's
know.
like I'm here all the time. These other dudes start calling you in May. You feel me? I'm here. I'm always here.
Yeah.
Something go wrong in your life personally. I done took dudes to get their license. I done took you to your first strip club. Like
Yeah.
I done took some of my players on trips because we won. You feel
Yeah.
me? So it's like it's much bigger than basketball.
Facts.
Yeah.
That's real.
Family shit.
Like when we bring anybody that's dealing with like street basketball onto the podcast, we want to ask them like, and this could be back then or now. Like we want to know your top 5. It don't got to be in a certain order, but like
Top 5.
players. We want to know not on your team or nothing. Like outside of the Stompers, we want to know like
Top 5 street
Taz,
ball.
Wait,
now-
all right,
yeah,
we could do his top 5 players and we could do his top 5 stompers.
There we go.
nah.
Tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I want to make it challenge.
Top 5 players is tough
Yeah,
because
I know.
you know what it is? You know why that's tough? Because there's so many there's sections in people's career where they might have went from not being the top guy to the top guy, or
Facts.
around this time they was the top guy. Like, cause everybody had legendary runs. Like
Yeah.
my man from Coney Island, y'all know Man.
Yeah, we know Man. Shout out to Man.
As a stomper in high school.
Yeah, he's killing.
Legend.
Yeah.
Romy, high school career,
Yeah, Romy's
legend.
a bull. Shout out
Feel
to
me and
Romy.
Kadari, Jay
Yeah.
Will,
Yeah.
Unlimited, his first few years of really touching the streets, legendary.
Shout
you know
out
what
to
I'm
Jay
saying?
Will.
Keanu, big stomper, just JoJo Swift, big stomper.
Facts.
A lot of dudes had some good runs, so it's hard for me to say 5 because they
Yeah,
all
yeah.
had their time. You know what I'm saying? Like even now, like Kev and Tyler Bourne,
Facts.
they out there doing their numbers. Lightfoot been doing his thing.
Facts. Definitely shout out to Lightfoot.
Keanu,
Kev.
big stomper. So these dudes, it's a lot of them. Like if Bryce Jones was a stomper before he was anything else. So and
Shout
I
out to
tell
Bryce.
dudes, they ain't even know Bryce when I
Yeah.
brought Bryce outside.
Facts.
And they didn't believe in him if they did know him. They didn't know he was gonna become what he is now. So it's like, that's my thing though. Even Ian Davis of Ric Flair.
Flair, shout out to Flair.
Shout out to
Shout out to
Flair.
Flair.
Took
They
him
just won
outside.
Flair and them won the championship. The
Yeah.
Flair boys won the championship today.
Yeah,
today.
facts.
Yeah,
I
for
know
the,
he ain't.
Kings of
And I
Champions.
love that he's doing that.
Yeah,
You
shout
feel
out to
me?
them
Like,
young
I love
guys.
that he's doing that with the young boys, and he already is winning shit and doing his thing. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying?
Facts.
Like, when I took him outside, he hit the world by storm. 'Cause
Yeah.
little slim, skinny kid from LG, nobody
Yeah.
ever seen him.
Yeah.
Took him up to Dykeman, and he's going toe to toe with all the top dudes. They was like, yo, who that? You know what I'm saying? And then he just took off from there.
Facts. All right, so outside the Stompers.
You mean like period?
Yeah. Like it could be past, present. You feel
Yeah,
me?
I
'Cause I'll
mean-
give you my top 5 too. You feel me?
All right,
Go
no,
first.
This top 5
I'll go
right
first.
Now, this summer.
I go first. No.
Yeah.
I'm-
This summer.
All right,
Yeah,
so I
this
You
go.
talking about street ball?
Listen,
Yeah,
I
we
go.
talking about
Listen.
street
So
ball.
right now I'm gonna go with my top 5 period, and then I'll go my top 5 this summer.
'Cause a lot of shit
Yeah,
changed.
yeah.
Right,
My top
facts.
5 period is I always go with Gino and Lily. Those are my
Right.
guys.
Yeah.
I go with who I go with third.
Keanu.
I know Keanu third, Mac fourth, and I probably Jay Will.
Yeah,
Jay
I
Will
love,
5.
I love Jay. I love Mac.
Now this summer, cause this summer been a little bit different.
Definitely, a lot
Number
of it
1,
different.
I'm gonna go with my boy JC.
Okay,
JC
I love
been doing this
JC.
thing.
He did his numbers.
Number 2, I still love my nigga Keanu. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like a lot of
Gotta
teams.
love him.
If you pat, I'm gonna tell you why. I feel like a lot of teams they're passing the ball, and teams that double team him, and he could pass
Yeah,
out.
he could make that
But
play.
like end of the game, everybody want to be the man, so they don't pass on the ball as much. So I
Right.
feel like it'd be harder for teams. But I say Keanu, JP, Jordan Parks.
Oh yeah, he was
Yeah,
tough.
I say yeah, he was
he
killing.
was definitely tough this summer.
Number 4. See, I don't know because before Jay Will got injured, I was rocking with Jay Will as number 1. But I say Jay Will as number 4, and number 5. I'm gonna still go with Mac. He been balling. You feel me?
Yeah, Mac Queen start cleaning up.
Mac, you can't never count. Mac outworks everybody.
Facts.
Yeah.
It don't matter what's going on with his shot or whatever. He's a good teammate. He's a good leader, and he works hard. You can't put the measure on the effort. Like he could win it. He can have his hands on the game without scoring.
Yeah.
So that's why he's always going to be in my top 5.
Both sides of the ball too. Defense.
He want the assignment.
Yeah.
Facts. I definitely love Mac.